Welcome back. We left off at creating a table for these icons and the time we have here so that we could put them up in the same line together. And so what we have in our project that we want to create is that they're separated here by a space, and we want to go ahead and create them. And that's where we left off. And basically we could do this easily with CSS, but since this is a HTML tutorial, we're gonna do it with only HTML so you can learn more about HTML. So what we're gonna do is create a couple more columns, because if you look at it here, we have only one row, and one row goes across horizontally. And if we want to add a couple columns, and what we're going to do, the trick is to add a column and make it a certain width. You don't have to add anything in it, and you just make a certain width, and then it will push your content to the areas that you want it to be in, which will create the shape that we want. So what we're going to do here is create another column. So TD, table data, represents a column. So TD, close it back, and then so we're going to add an attribute to this column called width. We talked about attributes in the last tutorial, and width equals, and we're going to just play around until we get what we want. So before the time, we want it to go out to a little bit in the middle. So we can say 300 is the width, and then we want a little bit of space between the time and the notification, so we can add a TD in the middle here. Okay, and we can say the width for that is maybe 5. Okay, and then we'll come down after the notification. We're gonna say TD again, because we want to create another space between the time, the notifications, and the rest of the notifications on the right top corner. So want to say width here again equals, and we can make up a number here too. Let's say 450, and we can go ahead and save that, and let's take a look, see how that developed. So we'll go back to our project and refresh. Okay, looks all right. We could do a little bit of fixes, but for now it looks all right. I think we can push this out a little bit more, and I think it would be better if we make these icons a little bit smaller too. So if we go back to the code here, we can go to the width and height of the images, and I'm going to change it to 20. See how that looks. Words. That's done, it should start looking like our project that we're trying to create here. And I'm gonna switch this to 470, and here I'm gonna make it 350, and here I want a little bit less space, so I'm gonna make it 2. So we save, and then we can go back and refresh and look at our project. All right. That's looking much better now. It looks a little bit more like our project here. And that's how we created the space in the project we had. So now we're going to do a little bit of formatting. as you can see here, the AM is next to the time here, but in the project, we have it above here. So how do we format in HTML to create these kind of formatting? So we'll go back to our code. And so there's a different kind of formatting. So the one we learned about is attributes. Using attributes, you add width, you add height, and you can add the source to add an image. And those are attributes that you add to an element. So another thing is formatting. And how you add formatting to an element is by adding an element inside of your already element. So how you do that is you go over to what you want to format, and it's the AM we have here. And we're going to open and we're going to put SUP, which means superscript. Superscript means that it's going to be above, it's going to put it up in comparison to the script that we have here. We're going to close that. We're going to open another one on this side, backslash, and then SUP, and close it up. And that will format it how we want it. And another way to format is that you can make a text bold by putting a B here and then a B around here. So our time should now be in bold. So we're going to have the AM above and the time being bold. So we'll save that, take a look. So we'll go over to our browser here and refresh. And as you can see, our time is bold and the AM is now formatted how we want it, like we have in our project over here. So in the next tutorial, we're going to look at formatting this. And the challenge for you now is this is formatted and created by the skills that you learned throughout the tutorials we've made the header section. So your challenge is to create this section before next week. And let's see if you can do that on your own with the skills you've learned from formatting this upper section that we did here. Other than that, I'll see you next time. So long.